Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And happy Friday to you. It is indeed Friday. We are getting ready to go into the big holiday weekend. There is so much going on, and I am excited to get it started. Anyways, yeah, so we are here to say some good stuff about us. I'm going to be pulling some cards off my I Am deck. And this being Friday, we're going to actually go through the cards of the week. So let's have some fun. Let's pull a card. Let's take a look at how the week went. And just get ready for the weekend ahead. So a lot of folks here today. I just want to say good morning to Frank and Daniel, Lauren and Dennis, Grant, Shauna. It is good to see you guys here today. Let's see here. Waleed has shown up as well. Good morning, Waleed. It is nice to see you guys. So Dennis, you will be here all weekend. I'm glad you're going to be joining the community this weekend, and you will indeed be surrounded by good friends. I am privileged to be surrounded by the folks that I am, including you. So let's have some fun. Let's pull some cards, and let's affirm good stuff about us by saying that today I am extraordinary. I am extraordinary. I transcend expectations and live authentically. So I transcend expectations and live authentically. Are you extraordinary? You are extraordinary. You transcend expectations and live authentically. So I am going to write that in the chat. So I transcend expectations and live authentically. And that's ultimately what being extraordinary is all about. Being extraordinary is about being extraordinary, being outside the ordinary. Benjamin Franklin says that most people die at 25, but we don't have the good sense to bury them until they're in their 60s. And what he means by that is that, most people kind of get stuck into a rut in life. We figure out what works in life, and then we just kind of do that for the rest of our lives. And in doing so, we never really try new things. We never, oftentimes, many people just don't really try a second thing. They try a first thing. It's like we spend our whole childhood believing in possibility, believing that we can be anything that we want to be. And then adulthood comes and we figure out how to pay our bills and we figure out how to raise our families. But then we just kind of stop. We just kind of stop dreaming. We stop trying to be more. And what this card is inviting us to do is to live authentically, to continue to transcend our own expectations of ourselves, as well as the expectations that society has of us. Benjamin Franklin's remark is really just about how easy it is to fall into a rut and say, well, this works, so I might as well just keep doing it because it works well enough. And because there's risk in changing up how we do life. There's risk in that. Because what if the thing that we get isn't as good as the thing that we already had in our hand? It's that whole bird in the hand is worth two in the bush thing. Well, maybe that new career is worth two birds in the bush, but they're in the bush, they're not in the hand. I know that I had this very same issue because at least for me, I started working very early. I started working when I was 11 years old. My dad had a shop. And so I learned how to be a metal worker. I learned how to run lathes and milling machines and EDM machines, and I learned how to do mechanical drawing and the engineering that comes from just having to build injection molds. And I remember that I was in my early 20s and I had been kind of like following this career path that had been given to me. And I'm so grateful that I had this thing because it allowed me to, it really allowed me to have this gigantic jumpstart on life, not just because of, the raw skills from having the career of knowing how to do this, but also the soft skills that come from knowing how to work as part of a team. Most people don't get that stuff when they're 11, but I did. And what a wonderful gift that was. But it was also a very confining gift because as I went through life, I had to seriously think to myself, I had to seriously think, well, if I don't actually really enjoy what I'm doing. I don't enjoy my job. I'm just kind of going through the motions of what I'm doing. But if I wanted to start something else, I'd have to start from the bottom. I'd have to start from, the beginning again. And I'd have to take a pay cut in order to do that. And so for many years, I didn't. I just continued to do the thing that I had been trained how to do because I didn't want to take that risk. And it got to a point where it was just untenable, where I said, I have to take a risk. I have to do something different. I have to transcend my own expectations of myself and of what I can do, because otherwise I'm going to end up living a life that I don't like. And so that's when I decided that I was going to quit my job. I quit my job. I moved to Central America for a while, and I found myself. And just doing that, just living in Central America for many years was an extraordinary thing. I tell people that I did it, and they're shocked that I had the bravery to do it. But the fact is that it wasn't something that required bravery. It was something that was inevitable. It was something that had to happen. And so this card is inviting us to transcend expectations, to live authentically, to be ourselves, to transcend the expectations that have been placed on us by society at large, by the people that we love, by the people that we are responsible to, by the people that we are responsible for, to transcend the expectations of our own expectations. And it's just so important to understand that we know what we want, we know who we are, and so as we do that, we are living in an extraordinary way. Brenda Jean says that I am still finding myself. You're darn right I am, Brenda Jean, every single day, and so are you, and so are all of the people who are on this call. Each and every one of us. These things are being revealed to us as we go through life. And this is happening for all of us. And so we are extraordinary people. We transcend expectations. We live authentically. And so this card is our invitation to live authentically. We are going into a weekend. For most of us, that means that the responsibilities of life are going to ebb for a little while as we just kind of take some days of rest. I'm going to take my day of rest on Saturday and have myself an awesome Saturday. And so, and I know a lot of people are taking a day of rest on Saturday or Sunday. And so that means that that we have to, or that we have this wonderful opportunity to live authentically. And so, Dennis says, finding myself means sometimes you have to let go of things or people that you never thought you would. And that's exactly right. Sometimes in order to find ourselves, we need to actually learn who we are when we are being with ourselves. And in so many cases, people define themselves. You know, we define ourselves based on who we are in relation to others. I remember there was a time when I worked a job that I didn't like the job all that much, but I was working it because I needed the money and I needed the, and I needed the, something to do essentially. And I didn't really have any other options at the time. But I remember that, that even though I really didn't like where I was at that time in my life, I was reticent to give it up again, because fear of the unknown was outweighing, fear of the unknown was outweighing the desire to change. And so I am extraordinary. This card invites us to change, to transcend expectations, because nothing changes until we do. So that is what this card is inspiring us to do today. So I'm really excited to be here. Good morning there, Kelly. I am excited to be here today, transcending my own expectations and living in the most authentic way that I know how to, and that is a process of self-discovery. And I am blessed to be surrounded by people who are just like me, who are on similar tracks of self-discovery. So let's take a look at the cards that came up over this week. On Monday, we pulled the I Am Assertive card, and we said that we boldly advocate for what is right. And as we go through the week, as I went through the week, I did have to boldly advocate for what was right. I had to boldly advocate for what was right for me, and I had to boldly advocate for what was right in in relation to, my own personal ethics and standards of morality. And I did that this week, and I'm sure that you did as well. On Tuesday, we pulled the I am inspired card, and we said that we act on our creative impulses. I feel like I had a very creative week this week. I made a lot more of these cards, so you guys will be seeing more of these cards. I have a tremendous number of them. Let's see here. I have 307 of these cards, or of word pairings for these cards that are just kind of sitting in a spreadsheet, and I am continuing to make them each and every day. So I'm really excited about that. And indeed, I was inspired all week. When we are inspired, it helps us because, or when we are inspired, it helps us to be persistent. And that was what we pulled on Wednesday. We pulled the persistent card, and we said that we move forward with steadfast determination. Boy, is it so much easier to move forward with steadfast determination when we are inspired, and when we are inspired to do the things that are important to us. And on Thursday, we pulled the I am loving card, and that we nurture meaningful connections, which is all about drawing closer to meaningful connections, connections that are good for us, and then separating in an empathetic way from connections that are not as good for us. And people grow and people change over time, and so when that happens, it's really important for us to continually reevaluate the connections that we have and make sure that both for our good and also for the good of the people who are around us, that we are in the right groups. Finally, today we affirmed that we are extraordinary, that we transcend expectations and live authentically, and that is the energy that we're going to take into the week. Of course, on Saturday, Awesome Saturday. On Awesome Saturday, our card, as always, is that the We Are Awesome card. Let's recognize our inherent value and worth. You are an inherently valuable and worthy person. You are on this earth to do cool stuff, and I am excited to watch the way that your dreams manifest in this world. Because if every single one of our dreams came true today, think about how much better the world would be. Think about how awesome it would be. Consider that most of our dreams are not dreams for ourselves. They're not selfish dreams. They're selfless dreams. So let's dream those selfless dreams. And as we recognize our inherent value and worth, let's help the people around us recognize theirs by treating them with love and compassion, and being the best people that we really can be. I'm grateful to hear, Dennis, you say the week has related and helped to your mental state so much, figuring out the best for your life, your health, and your happiness. We love you too, and you keep on being awesome as well. I'm grateful that this broadcast is helping you to recognize your inherent value and worth, and also the inherent value and worth of all the people around you that you have to interface with. So I am going to get off the broadcast. Thank you so much for all of you guys for being here. I will return on. Actually, I'm not going to return on Sunday night. Typically, I do a Sunday night broadcast, but I will not, because I am very, very busy this weekend. And so I will return on Monday morning at 9 a.m., where we will go through another set of cards. They'll be all new, and so they will just be a bit of a surprise. But on Sunday night, I have an appointment, and I will not be able to make the Nightfall with Maui Paul. So I will return on Monday morning at 9 a.m. Until then, just wanted to remind you guys that you're doing great, and that life is unfolding exactly as it should, that you are in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people, saying the right words in order to move life forward, and that you are as wise as you have ever been and fully equipped to handle everything life throws at you. I love you, I care about you, and I will talk to you on Monday at 9 a.m. Aloha from paradise.